Hello everyone, welcome back to another starter of positions video on the channel. Today is going to be the small forward position. I have made the categories on the left: superstar, star, above average starter, below average starter, and role player. However, I have not selected the player that's blind on the screen, so if you think that that will not be the player that starts at this given position, or this player just won't play that position, that's not what I've chosen. I'm just going to rank what has been given to me here. So with that being said, feel free to leave your thoughts down below on these rankings. If you guys agree or disagree on anything, I look forward to having a conversation. So, to start off, Josh Okogie of Minnesota, log starter. Very good defender, but I need to say we need to see way more offensively from him before I can move him up to any higher category. Joe Ingles, I have him as an above average starter. He's a very good glue guy, he's good at passing, he's good at getting off the dribble and setting up for other teammates, and he's a very good three-point shooter. He's someone who can fit in any system. He's a very good, as I mentioned, very good glue guy, fits in very well. Brandon Ingram, most improved player of last season. He's going to be in the star category for me. He's definitely not at the superstar category for me yet. I haven't seen enough from him yet to be that level of a difference maker. And I haven't seen it on a high enough or important enough level. But nonetheless, he's obviously shown, especially last season, that he can be an elite scorer and can be someone that is very dominant on the offensive end, in the paint, in the mid-range, from deep. The next level for him would be to help set up teammates a little bit better, but obviously a very good player. Danny Green, low average starter. He would have been higher than this a couple of years ago, but he's kind of fallen a bit down this list. His three-point shooting has declined a little bit, and always gotten some stick the last couple of years. He's still a good 3D player, but he's not as good as he used to be. Deandre Hunter, it's a weird one. He's very good defensively, but I don't love his offense yet. He definitely could move up to average starter, or even above average starter this season, but I think for now, he's a below average starter for me until I see more from him offensively. DeMar DeRozan, still a star, still an elite scorer in this league, and that's non-debatable to me. Danny Avdija, all rookies, I'm just putting in the below average starter category until we actually see a bit more from them. Okay, is this not putting him up there? Not sure why my computer's being so slow. Here it was. There we go. Oh, that's also brought Derek Jones Jr. into the below average starter category, and to be fair, that's where I would put him as well. Good athletic player, has some good, can offer some good defense and a bit of spacing, but nothing special, and not a great player. Not someone that you're overly excited about as your starter. Eric Gordon, I know he probably will be coming off the bench for this team. I have to say average starter. He's not a great defender, but he offers enough to you offensively still that he is an average starter to me. Burton Hayward, can't put him in the star category. I can't. He's an above average starter to me. He very well could move up to the star category depending on how well he plays with Charlotte this year in an expanded role for him. But I haven't seen enough from him the last couple of seasons to have him in the star category. Harrison Barnes, he's an average starter to me. Nothing great, but he just does a little bit of everything. He scores decently, rebounds decently, can provide with a little bit of playmaking, a little bit of defense. He's just decent at everything, but not great. Isaac Okoro for Cleveland, another rookie. I'm just going to put in the below average starter category. Tim Harwood Jr. Is that Tim Harwood Jr.? No. This is who we're considering Tim Hardaway Jr. as. I don't think that is, but that is the Dallas Mavericks small forward. And so we're gonna, because I know that is most likely gonna be Tim Hardaway Jr., we're gonna make him a below average starter. His shooting just isn't consistent enough for me to be any higher than that. It has moments, but it isn't consistent enough, and his defense isn't good enough, in my opinion. This, why can I not remember who that is? We'll come back to that one. Jaylen Brown, star. He is a star to me, for sure. He had a much improved season last year. Him and Jason Tatum both did. He is elite on the defensive end, in my opinion, and his scoring repertoire has drastically improved and has played well already again this season. And so that is where I would put him. I want to say that's Will Barton. If it is, he's a below average starter. I could be wrong there, but I want to say that's Will Barton. That's a below average starter to me. He hasn't good defensively, but he hasn't shown enough to me offensively yet to be anything higher than that. There's too many below average starters at this position here. It's not really promising in the position so far. Jimmy Butler, the argument for him is star or superstar. And obviously he had a very good run in the playoffs last year and led this Miami team. I just don't think of him as a superstar. I just don't. You could definitely make that argument, and I could listen to that argument, but I don't see it personally. He's not quite at that superstar level for me. He's definitely at the upper tier of the star category, but I don't see him as a superstar. Next to Joe Harris, it's an average starter to me. Good shooter, can offer a little bit off the dribble. I shouldn't say good shooter, one of the best shooters in the league. Not great defensively. This doesn't offer enough to me. I know lots of people would argue for him to be in the above average starter category, but he's not there for me. Next, Kawhi Leonard, undoubtedly superstar. No questions asked about that. He's one of the best players in the league when on the court. Next, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He's an average starter to me. I think he proved enough to me last season as a consistent enough and in clutch moments good shooter, and can offer some very good perimeter defense. I feel like some of these guys down in this lower tier can either offer a lot of everything at a lower level or only have a really good offensive or defensive side, and I think Kentavious Caldwell-Pope should be up there. Next, Cameron Johnson, low average starter. He looked very good in the bubble last season, however, haven't seen enough from him yet to put him in any higher tier. Chris Middleton, star. He's playing very well with the Bucks so far to start this season, and he has been a very good player for them the last few seasons. Does have an all-star appearance or two, and so he definitely makes it in at that point. That's Kyle Anderson, right? Kyle Anderson is a role player to me. Kyle Anderson just isn't a starter to me in my opinion. He's okay defensively and can hit a few threes, but he's not good enough to me to be anything more than a role player. Lou Dort, very good defensively and managed to start hitting threes in the playoffs, but couldn't buy a three or anything on offense before then. And so I need to see more from him in the regular season before I put him anything higher than a role player. Now, if he starts hitting threes at the rate is even somewhere near where he was hitting them in the playoffs, he could definitely be an average starter by the end of the season. But as of right now, I just can't put him there. Michael Porter Jr., he's a below average starter for me right now. I know that might seem a little bit weird, but I haven't seen enough from him offensively, specifically off the ball. He's good on the ball, but off the ball he's not great. Defensively, he has been terrible, and some of his decision making on the ball and pass selection just isn't there. There's obviously a lot of talent there, and he could be up to an above average starter or star by the end of the season. But as of right now, he's not there for me yet. Is that DJ Warren? No, that's DJ Warren. Well, given this is DJ Warren, DJ Warren's an above average starter to me. I think he is a little bit overhyped at the moment due to how good he played in the bubble, but no doubt he still is a very good offensive player, and someone I'd be happy to have at the small forward position for my team. PJ Washington, another rookie. Put him in the below average starter category until we see more of him. Oh, this is Marcus Morris. He's an average starter for me. Marcus Morris? Yeah, it is. That is Marcus Morris, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I think he has a good game. He's slightly overpaid, in my opinion, on his new deal, but someone who I think can contribute well for that. Well, for whatever team he plays on. RJ Barrett. As of right now, RJ Barrett is a below average starter for me, but he could definitely rise up this list quite quickly if he starts to play well and much better in his second season, like he did in night one of the New York Knicks. And then OG Anunoby, an above average starter for me. He is someone that has proved he can be very good. For the Raptors, an elite defensive wing player, someone who can hit down open threes and is very good at slashing and coming to the basket. So he goes in that above average starter category for me. And I believe this is supposed to be Orlando Magic small forward, which should typically be Jonathan Isaac, but he's out to injury. So I'm going to presume this as Terrence Ross, although I know that's not Terrence Ross. and that'll make him an average starter to me. Dynamic shooter, dynamic scorer. Not great defensively, also decent. And so that's my rankings on the started small forwards in the league, or projected small forwards at least. If you guys agree or disagree with any of the rankings down below, feel free to let me know, and let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.